Getting a divorce in Maryland is actually simpler than you might think. If the grounds for divorce occurred outside Maryland, one spouse must live in Maryland for 1 year prior to filing. Otherwise, either spouse may file for divorce. If the grounds for divorce is insanity, the residency requirement is 2 years. The divorce may be filed in either spouse's residing county. Once the residency requirement is completed, a legal grounds for a divorce must be established. Both general and no-fault divorce are acceptable grounds for divorce. The no-fault reason is the spouses have voluntarily lived separate and apart for 1 year without interruption or cohabitation, and there is no reasonable expectation of reconciliation, or the spouses have lived separate and apart without interruption for 2 years. The general reasons are adultery, deliberate desertion for 12 months with no chance for reconciliation, confinement for incurable insanity of at least 3 years, conviction of a felony or a misdemeanor with at least a 3-year sentence and after 1 year having been served, cruelty with no chance for reconciliation, and vicious conduct with no chance for reconciliation. Maryland does not require a parenting plan for child custody. Joint or sole custody may be awarded to either or both parents based on the best interests of the child. Custody may be denied if the child has been abused by the parent seeking custody. No other factors are considered in the statute. The court will attempt to allow the child to live in the environment and community familiar to them and will generally allow the use and possession of the family home by the person with custody. Either parent may be ordered to pay child support based on the ability of each parent to borrow, the parent's earnings history, the reasonable necessities of each parent, the physical, emotional, and educational needs of the child, the relative financial means of the parents, including their income, resources, and property, the potential earnings of the parents, the needs of any other dependents of a parent, any Social Security or veterans benefits paid to the child, and any other relevant factors. Specific child support guidelines and charts are supplied in the statute. Presumably, the amount for support in the guidelines is correct. However, the amount may be adjusted if it would be inappropriate or unjust under the circumstances. To determine this, the court may consider the terms of any marital settlement agreement between the parents, including any provisions for payments of marital debts, mortgages, college education expenses, the right to occupy the family home, and any other financial terms, and the presence in the household of either parent of other children that the parent has a duty to support. The family home may be awarded to the parent who has custody so the child can continue to live in the environment and community familiar to them. A grandparent may be financially responsible for their grandchild if the parent is an unemancipated minor. An official child support worksheet is in Rule 9-206. Maryland is an equitable distribution state. The spouses retain their separate property, including any gifts and inheritances, property acquired prior to the marriage, and property which is directly traceable to property listed in the aforementioned situations. Marital property, including retirement benefits and military pensions, is divided equitably. The court may order a division of the property, a sale of the property, and a division of the proceeds, or a money award as an adjustment of the values. This is based on the monetary and non-monetary contributions of each spouse to the acquisition of the marital property, including the contribution of each spouse as homemaker, the value of each spouse's property, the economic circumstances of each spouse at the time the division of property is to become effective, the length of the marriage, whether the property award is instead of or in addition to alimony, how and by whom the property was acquired, including any retirement, profit sharing, or deferred compensation plans, the circumstances that contributed to the estrangement of the spouses, the age and physical and mental condition of the spouses, and any other factor necessary to do equity and justice between the spouses. Either spouse may be awarded alimony based on the time necessary to acquire sufficient education and training to enable the spouse to find appropriate employment and that spouse's future earning capacity, the standard of living established during the marriage, the duration of the marriage, The ability of the spouse from whom support is sought to meet his or her needs while meeting those of the spouse seeking support. The financial resources of the spouse seeking alimony, including marital property apportioned to such spouse and such spouse's ability to meet his or her needs independently. The comparative financial resources of the spouses, including their comparative earning abilities in the labor market. The contribution of each spouse to the marriage, including services rendered in homemaking, childcare, education, and career building of the other spouse. The age of the spouses, the physical and emotional conditions of the spouses, any mutual agreement between the spouses concerning financial or service contributions by one spouse with the expectation of future reciprocation or compensation by the other, the ability of the spouse seeking alimony to become self-supporting, the circumstances which led to the breakdown of the marriage, and any other factor the court deems just and equitable. Maryland declares in the best interests of children that there be mediated resolutions of parental disputes regarding custody. A court may order an educational seminar if children are involved. In cases where custody is disputed, the court may order the parents to attempt mediating that issue, unless a history of physical or sexual abuse of the child exists. Visit us today at www.mydivorcepapers.com and click on Maryland at the bottom of the page. Let mydivorcepapers.com help you file for divorce today.